Last week, Mr. Mufareh came out, the CEO, the visionary, the brain trust behind Onpassive, and he told us Onpassive would do the relaunch this month, September 2024. Very, very exciting times. It will come out bigger, better, more beautiful than anything we ever thought about. And that's happening this month. And I really want to talk about the structure of Onpassive a little bit, how it's going to affect each and every one of us. But before I do that, I want to talk about a specific product that Onpassive will have a very, very positive impact on. This product is a global product. I believe it's the largest product in the world. This niche, this market is the largest market in the world. And the product I want to talk about is debt. And I know most people, when they think about debt, they don't think of it in terms of a product. But the people that developed debt, really, really ingenious. I think it's heinous. I think it's almost borderline evil. But what they've done is they've normalized it with most of the people throughout the world. If you're 18 to 80, chances are you're in debt your entire life. And that's the way they planned it. They want you in debt your entire life to collect that money and continue to collect that money. And obviously that money's coming out of your pocket. And if you could be out of debt that whole time, the amount of money that you would save, put in the bank, put into savings, it is significant, and I believe would allow you to live the lifestyle you want to live. But that's not their goal. That's not what they want to do. So let's talk about the numbers of debt. Today in the world, there's $315 trillion in debt. And I'm primarily talking about personal debt, government debt, that type of thing. If we look at the money supply in the world, there's about $100 trillion. So there's $315 trillion in debt, $100 trillion in money that's out there. Now, obviously, it's kind of upside down. If something catastrophic happens, all of a sudden, all these economies throughout the world are just going to crash because the debt can't be paid. But that's not all of it. There's another type of debt. It's called a derivative. And a derivative is pretty simple. It's like your mortgage. Banks will bundle mortgages together, put them in one thing, and then put them out there for people to come in and buy, and then they collect the mortgage on all those mortgages. And it is a form of debt. A lot of people will come in, they'll borrow money to buy the derivatives so that they can collect the mortgage money that's coming in from those pool of mortgages. Again, if the economy goes south and things go bad, all of a sudden those derivatives are worthless. Now, today, the number that I've heard, the amount of debt, the amount of derivatives in the world today is 1.5 quadrillion. Now, I can't even fathom that number. But again, it is a form of debt. And if everything goes haywire in the world, all of a sudden, all of us are in a position where we're just not in a great place to be. When we think about debt, when we think about government debt, any debt that the government acquires, they call it spending, it's debt. That debt is not the government. So again, politicians love to spend other people's money. That debt is our debt. In the United States of America, I think our debt right now is 35 trillion, and that's not the unfunded mandates. That's another 200 trillion. So as you can see, debt is very, very nefarious. And it's something that these individuals that created this product want to continue throughout time, through eternity. Because every time there's debt, and there's massive debt in the world right now, they are collecting that money. And that brings me to Onpassive. And I love the saying Mr. Mufareh had, we are the correction to the corruption. And think about having a life without being in debt. And there's an old saying, and it goes like this: neither be a lender or a borrower. And if you can do that, you can actually start to live the lifestyle you want to live. But it's even better than that when we start to think about Onpassive. Mr. Mufareh created Onpassive, and I'll get into the structure a little bit about Onpassive now, what's coming this month, the month of September, and why it's so beneficial to you personally. Mr. Mufareh has created Onpassive to make a difference in people's lives. He wants your life to be better. And the concept that he had 5.5 years ago really hasn't changed that much. He wants to give you the ability to develop an income online, and over time to get to that place where you don't worry about finances. And when you can do that, all of a sudden you have the capacity to get out of debt. And when you're out of debt, all of a sudden, nobody controls you. When you have enough money coming in to take care of yourself, take care of your family, live the lifestyle you want to live, all of a sudden, things change in your mindset. Now you become an independent individual, independent human being. You are sovereign. And because Mr. Mufareh has given us a way forward to develop that income, to get the place where we don't have to worry about finances, that financial bottom line, it truly does give us liberty and freedom. Now let's talk about this month, September. What's happening in September? We know what's happened in the past. Mr. Farr has come on and talked about that, the things that went on within Onpassive. It's why we're having a relaunch of Onpassive. There was just some bad things happening with Onpassive out of Mr. Mufareh's control. He caught it, he fixed it, and we're in great shape now. And this month, Onpassive will do the relaunch. As we think about the relaunch of Onpassive, think about what's going to be happening in your life, because Mr. Mufareh, he did tell us that the structure of Onpassive, I know the corporate side has changed. The structure of the corporate side absolutely has changed. But I think the structure on the affiliate side, which is you and I, we have our business within Onpassive, it's going to change a little bit. I don't know what those changes are, but what I can tell you, and this is because Mr. Mufareh has told us this, the future is brighter today than any time in Onpassive. And as I think about Onpassive throughout the last 5.5 years, the future was brighter than I could ever even comprehend. And Mr. Mufareh has told us it's going to be even better than that. What's going to be happening with Onpassive will benefit you in ways that you haven't even imagined, you can't even imagine, probably haven't imagined. I believe Onpassive is still here to force you to be successful. What does that mean? It means we're going to have the ability and the tools to do the things we need to do online to develop that income. And I can tell you out of experience, because I know some of the products that Mr. Mufareh is going to be coming out with, everybody will be able to take the products of Onpassive, develop that income, and get to that place of financial independence. Now, the structure of Onpassive, Mr. Mufareh, he's going to start sharing that with us in the next weeks to come. Because Onpassive, they're doing the relaunch. He has to go over all of this stuff. And as he does that, I'll come out, as will other affiliates, other founders in Onpassive, and try and clarify it in a way that we can understand it. Mr. Mufareh, he's very, very good on his webinars, and if you listen closely, you pick up everything he wants to say, but sometimes it helps if you have someone else come out and kind of massage it a little bit. And I will be doing that in the weeks to come. But here's what's going to be happening. All of us are going to be giving you a way forward to take care of that bottom line and to take care of debt. Debt is one of those things that was developed to keep you in bondage, and it really is debt slavery. I want you out of that. I want you to get to the place where you have that independence I believe you deserve. This is what Onpassive is all about. This is what's going to be happening this month. This isn't months or years away. This is this month. So this month's going to be a very, very exciting time. I will come on and do more videos as Mr. Mufareh comes out and kind of explains what's coming at us, what we're going to be seeing, and what's going to be happening with Onpassive. I think it's a very, very exciting time, not only for Onpassive. Mr. Mufareh has done a great job at getting over the hurdles he needed to get over. He's done that. He's done it marvelously. And Onpassive, again, it's just going to be better, bigger, more beautiful than you ever thought it could be. And from there, we're going to have the ability to go forward. We're going to be talking to you the ways to do what you need to do to get to that place of financial independence. So that's really it. I wanted to talk a bit about debt. It is not a good thing in this world. It is something that was developed to keep you in bondage, debt slavery. We want you out of that. We want you in a position where you have the freedom, the sovereignty to live the life you want to live. I believe Onpassive is the correction to the corruption. And because of what Mr. Mufareh is going to be doing in the near future, weeks, not months, not years, but weeks, we're going to find a way forward. And as he does that, I'll come out and do more videos. It's going to be a really, really fun time for everybody. Come on in, keep watching, engage, get ready to do whatever Mr. Mufareh asks you to do. It will be to your benefit, to the benefit of Onpassive. It's just a really, really good place. And from there, we'll absolutely see everybody on the inside. Again, I'm Mike Ellis. Keep watching. I'll have more for you. And again, we're in a really, really good place. Take care. Bye.